Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. We now got pack 6 of the Agora Models release of Build the Leopard tank. You know what, I can't believe we're halfway through this build. Just so you know, all the tracks in this build I've already built. Now eventually, we're going to have 81 of these on each side. I don't know what we're up to at the moment. I think there's 57 by the end of this. In the last stages of this, I completely skipped over it. But for this one, I actually did all the tracks live. And if you haven't seen that live video, I'll put the link up here. And it's also in the video description. And you can see me, all the pain I went through to put these in. We had to do about, I don't know, 10,000 of them. There was a lot. But if you want to get this for yourself, I'll put the link down the bottom here to the Agora Models website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. You can also get, I believe at the moment, I don't know if things have changed at the moment, but the Super Snake, the Cobra, the Terminator, the Bismarck, the New York fire truck, the Routemaster bus, the Zero fighter, this and one more, which escapes me at the moment. It's typical. And the Jaguar E-Type. There we go. We got it at the moment. Once again, that's all on the Agora Models website. But we're going to be doing some of the mechanism that we're going to be attaching this to eventually. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so in stage 42, we've got quite a lot of details here, including this lovely rubber band. Not quite sure what that's for. Get all of these out. Put that to one side because I'm going to be needing to bring over this massive section that we worked on previously here. Now, if you can see, probably best on the top camera, we've got these holes in the metal just here. We're going to be putting some stuff into those. Now, these are RP times 4. I believe they're screws. Let's have a look. They're screws and they look just like that. We're going to be putting 4 of those in those holes. I actually thought all of the screws were in place on this, but obviously not. Just get these in. I am using oil to help me out with that. Here's the second one. I am supporting it from underneath of my fingers just so I can get some good grip on these. These screws seem to want to go in really tough for the first half and then nice and easy for the second. So this is why oil is helping me out with this. And there you go, that's all 4 of those in. I'll tell you now, that wasn't easy, but that's in place there like that. We can take this away and bring over the top section in here with the barrel on, turn it upside down, and we've got this section here, which is going to go on, if I go on the close-up camera, just over the top here. Now that is glued into place, so I need some glue. I'm going to put some glue just on the channel lines here and here. Now I'm not using too much glue. Just enough to keep this into place on both sides. And then want to make sure that when we put this on, we're lining up the fronts so that it all slots in. That looks absolutely brilliant. Hold that for a second. And there we go. That's in place. Put that to one side, and we're going to be working on the first of these mechanics for the movement of the tank. We've got this little plastic round washer that's going to go into the top there like that. Then we're going to be taking the section that looks like this. That's going to go into the top. So it bites together to create this section here. We're going to be putting some QP screws in just on this side to keep those together. The QP screws are silver ones here. And there you go, that's those together. Then we've got this arm that's going to go into the back of this section here, like that. Now to hold that in, we're going to use one of the PP screws. This is one of the flanged black screws we've got here. And there you go, that's in place. You should still be able to move, as you can see there. I'm going to take one of the first bands here, and that's just going to go all the way over the top, but it's going to go onto the back ring, making sure that it's nice and secure on there, which looks good. And do the same with the one on the front. Excellent. Now in stage 39 we have one of the caps that looks just like this. I've dug that out. I'm going to put that over the top here. Just clip it in. There we go. That's the cap on as well. And that is in place. So what we can do is just put that to one side and bring over the bottom section of the tank. Looks like that. We've got these two small details here, which are going to go into the holes that we can just see here. So I'm going to put them in. They are shaped, so they can only go in one way. Sort of like a semicircular shape. So when they're in, they should look just like that. And in all these, and probably best on the top camera, in all of these small sections here, we've got caps to put on. They're really tiny. They look just like that. And it's quite simply, when we put them on, they are just like a push in. And as you can see, they look just like that. I'm going to repeat that for all the others. So as you can see, when they're all in place, they look just like that. Now, in this first section here, we've got a hole just in the inside, which we're going to be mounting this spring to. Now, the bent part of the spring, this part here, is going to be going into that hole. So it looks like that when it's in. Now, when that's fully engaged, it means that that spring is going to provide resistance, as you can see there. We're going to be taking the completed section that we've done here. That's going to go over the top of this section here, just like this, so that the spring is going in between this section here. There you go. And then once that's in and the spring's engaged, we want to just turn that so it goes over the lip of this section just here. Now I'm going to show you a picture on the screen of what that should look like. And then once we're happy with that, whoops, it just pinged out. I'm going to hold that in with a PP screw. And there you go, that's in. And as you see, we've got suspension on there, allowing that to move now. So that looks like that. The rest of this stage is doing the next track, which we've already done, so we're going to move on to stage 44. Then stage 44, we're going to be using two of these sections that we worked on in the last pack. These are large sort of tower sections here. They're going to go into the holes that we can see here and here. So I'll get them lined up. They're held in from the other side with OP screws. Again, these are flange screws. So that's one in. Now the second one is going right at the end over here. So I'll get that one in as well. And that's in. So we're remembering we've got the taller ones here and here. Now we have got some shorter ones that look like this. They're just going into the vacant spaces that we've got here and at that end there. So I'll get these in. So when they're all in, as you can see, we've got the smaller ones and the larger ones. We can put that to one side because we're going to be building up the next, I'm going to call them wheels. I know they're not wheels, but it's the best name I can give them. I'm sure someone in comments is going to tell me exactly what these are. Once again, put the plastic washer in. We're going to be putting the top over, making sure that it's in the correct way so it fits flush. And then on this side here, we're going to be putting the silver screws, which I've got here, 3 of those. And 3. So that's those 3 screws in. Then we've got the arm just going into the back here, so it comes out the other side. We've got one of the large PP screws to go in to keep that in place. Nice and tight. And then we've got one of the caps to put over the top of that, which look like this. Get that in. And then once again, we're just putting the bands around each section of this, whatever it's called. It doesn't tell you in the instructions. It's wheel shaped, so I'm calling it a wheel. A track wheel, perhaps? Is that the right name? A track wheel? You know me, if I don't know the name, I'll just make something up. Okay. So, that's that one in. Looking like that. And quite simply, this one's going to go into the next one along. So in a very similar fashion to what we did last time, we're going to put the spring in with the hole so that it makes the spring go all the way into this cavity. This is probably the hardest bit, just trying to fiddle this in here. And then in a similar fashion to what we did last time, put the wheel over the top. Rotate it round so we get that resistance on the spring till it passes that catch. Almost there. There we go. And then once again, a PP screw down the top to hold all of that into place. And that is the second wheel in place, as you can see. Excellent. So because we've done this twice already, I'm going to build this up so you can see what this looks like, and we'll be ready to add this to the vehicle. See, look, I'm becoming a dab hand at these now, just putting the last of the rubber around the track wheel there. So it looks like that. And then once again, we're going to be fitting this to the side of the tank, the next one along, completely the same way as we did the last two. And that makes 3. I love the suspension on all of these. That looks excellent. Now we need a plate that came in stage 43 looking like that. We've got a couple of details just to put on either side of this section here. So I've got them in this little bag. Check that out. Very detailed. But basically what we're going to do is one side of this is going to go into this side of that plate, into one end like that. And on the other side, we've got one that looks just like that, going in the other side. There's a metal core in those, just so you know. We're going to be bringing over this great big bit of armour that we've had in this stage here. That's going to go into these points just here. When I've got this one rotated round there. So that's hanging down just like that. It's going to be secured in the other side with 2 NP screws. Now these are silver screws with a sharp point at the end of them. So get the first one in here through the centre hole here. That will keep that one in place. We are going into plastic, so I'm not putting these in too tight. And in a similar fashion, just one in this end here. So there we go. That's that first plate in place, and it's able to hinge, as you can see. We're going to do the same with the second plate we got here. That's just going to go along over the point that we had from that one there. This time we've got a hinge with 2 little sort of like bobbles at the top there. That's going to go into the other side here. So I'll feed that in and secure that to the next one along. So then that's the second one in there. Once again held in just on the other side with some MP screws. And then they do want us to put some more tracks in, but we've already done that, so that's all there is to do in that stage. So stage 46, exactly the same of what we've been doing here. Once again, I'm going to make another wheel up because, you know, we're like a dab hand at that now. So as if by magic, another wheel is done there. We're going to put this next one along on the tank. And that makes 4, as you can see, looking good. I do like that. Once again, we've got another armour piece here, which we're going to be putting a hinge in. So I'll get the hinges out. And we want the one again with the 2 bobbles just on top like that. They are actually numbered underneath for number 3, and we just match that number with the number that we've got on there. So number 3 is going to go in the same hole as number 3. And once again, held in on the other side with 2 of the NP screws. Now we want to hold on to all these other hinges here because we're not actually using them yet, because that, along with the tracks that we have to build, which we've already done, is all there is to do in that stage. Stage 47, no stranger to guess what we're going to be doing first. We're going to be creating another wheel. And there you go, that's the other wheel done. And once again, I'm going to attach this to the side of the tank. And there you go, that's 5 now in place, looking good. Now we want to take this section here where we were working on the hinge last time. We've got another plate to put in. That's just going to go into the end like that, and on the other side we've got another hinge to put in, which looks just like that. So I'll get this in here. It's number 2, so you just make sure it's matched number 2 on here as well. That's gone on fine, and then once again just an MP screw just through the other side here. So as you can see, all of these can open fine now. Absolutely perfect. And that's all there is to do in issue 47. Now in issue 48, once again we're going to make another wheel. I won't do that because we've done that hundreds of times now. We'll move straight on to putting some more plates on. Now this time the plate looks just like this, and that's going to be going on the end over this side here. But it's not actually attached to this side yet. That's all we've got to do. So that is all we have to do in that stage. Now stage 49, once again, another wheel to do. So I've left that for now. I'll put them on later on. We're going to be putting another plate on. That's just going to go on this side here. And then once again, it does say number 2, a number 2 hinge, which is going to go on this side here. All the way in, and then we push this into the cavity here, and then once again an MP screw just on the other side, just the one this time. And then I'll slide this one back in because this fell out. So again, we've got the plates now looking like that. And again, there is tracks to make, which we've already done, but that's all there is to do at that stage. Now stage 50, slightly different to what we've been doing. Now just so you know, all of these parts here, you can probably hear, are metal. What I need is just this cap section here. And we've got some screws in his bag. Bring up the tracks again that we're working on last time, and now I'm interested in this section just here, as you can see probably on the close-up camera. What we're going to do is we're going to be taking this section that we get in this, and that's just going to go over the top like that. It's held in with AP screws. So let's get 2 of those in. Excellent. Again, I could put that to one side because these I'm guessing are what's going to be the main drive for the track when it goes round. We're actually going to be putting these 2 sections together. Now, as you can see, we have got a keyhole pattern here, or a semicircular pattern. These are just going to match up like that. Whoops. Try that again. Like that. And it's going to be held together with 2 screws, and they are these SP screws. I am going into metal here, so I have put some oil just on my screw here. And I'll get these 2 in. That's 1 and 2. And that is stage 50 complete. I do love the metal in that, it's very heavy. Which means the last thing to do, apart from doing tracks, which we've already done, on stage 51, we're just going to be taking this plate here, and that's going to go into the end just like that. Now we do have a cap to put on the end. That's what that looks like there. So I'll get this in. Just like that. Once again, held in with an NP screw. And when that's in, that should look just like that. Now I'm going to attach this to the side of the tank. So I need to bring up this section here. I will put that bit back on again afterwards. It's just going to go into this leading edge here. So I'm going to line up the lugs. There's 3 of these, and it's just a push in at the bottom, and they're going to be secured from the top with OP screws. Now these are the flange screws here. We're going to want 3 of these, so 1 here, 1 down the bottom, and then just 1 on this side here. Excellent. I'll just put this one back in. And then we're going to be taking the next one that we did, And in a similar fashion, this is going to be going down the other side. This time making sure that the spindle on here is going into the end of this one. And that's going to stop that falling out. Just like that. Do the same on the other side here. And just like last time, just the flange screws to keep that into place. So if I show you the side of that, that's how that looks. And as you can see, all of these can come up when we need them. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So with that, the lovely metal cog we've done here, and obviously the hundreds of tires that we put in, which suspend, that's all there is to do in that pack. I enjoyed that. Have to say, it was a little bit repetitive, that one, the amount of times we had to do the wheels and do the same thing over and over again. But you know, it is necessity to actually drive this. But I mean, I do love how this fits over that side as well. These look absolutely brilliant. That's hopefully going to give you an idea about the size. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, once again, I'll put the link down here to the Agora Models website, and you can get this all the way from pack 1. But that's all there is for that video. So I really do hope you liked the video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.